Amazing things you didn't know about Disney World. Disneyland was designed so that you couldn't really see everything in a single day. Today, in addition to all the Easter eggs Walt Disney and his Imagineers baked into their attraction designs, the parks have also accumulated almost 6 decades of hidden history that's waiting to be discovered by eagle-eyed guests, provided they know where to look. Have you seen Disney's nuclear power plant? Did you watch one of the biggest scandals in American politics unfold at a Disney resort? Ever have a sense of deja vu when riding a ride? Spoilers ahead, you may never enjoy Disney the same way again. 1. Hidden at the top of the 147-foot mountain of Disneyland's first roller coaster, the Matterhorn Bobsleds, is something more surprising than a roaring, fur-covered beast, a single-hoop basketball court for use by park employees on their breaks. It was created by vote to fill the extra space in the snow-capped icon, as the coaster makes use of only the bottom 2/3 of the peak. 2. Timothy Q. Mouse, who presides over Dumbo the Flying Elephant, once brandished a training whip to make the elephant soar. Times changed, and the whip was quietly replaced with a magic feather. 3. Disneyland, a theme park built in the center of Anaheim, California, where every day brings all sorts of critters. To help curb the problem, Disney employs hundreds of collarless cats that they feed during the day, then let loose at night. It's a fun irony that Mickey's greatest natural enemy is given the keys to the kingdom after dark. 4. Although they are different rides on opposite coasts, the track layouts of Indiana Jones at Disneyland and Dinosaur at Disney's Animal Kingdom are nearly identical. The sets and lighting are different. 5. The largest and most complicated audio animatronic ever assembled is the 22-foot-tall Yeti inside Expedition Everest, and it doesn't work. When the ride opened in 2006, it lunged menacingly at every passing train, but its systems couldn't sustain the intensity, and it had to be turned off. Now, its design failure immobilization is concealed with a strobe light effect, spurring some guests to name it Disco Yeti. 6. Each president in the Hall of Presidents at the Magic Kingdom wears clothing made using the techniques of his era. For example, if there were no sewing machines in his time, we're looking at you, George Washington, then his suit is hand-stitched. 7. For rock and roll fans, Walt Disney World may not actually be the most magical place on Earth. The Beatles officially broke up at Disney's Polynesian Resort. While on vacation there on December 29, 1974, John Lennon signed the papers that would make their dissolution legal. 8. The organ in the ballroom scene of Disneyland's Haunted Mansion is the actual one played by Captain Nemo in 1954's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, albeit with a different configuration of the pipes. 9. Want to upload that vacation video to YouTube? Don't be bummed if Disney asks you to take it down. As in most privately owned theme parks, everything in Disney, characters, rides, and architecture down to the every mouse-ear design detail is the company's intellectual property. Disney hasn't flexed that legal muscle yet. 10. Gene Shepard, the narrator and author of the stories that became the holiday movie classic A Christmas Story, voices the father in the current 1994 incarnation of Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress. 11. Cinderella Cafe feels more imposing than it actually is thanks to the use of forced perspective and a barely perceptible incline. The fiberglass structure, not stone, Disney got special permission from the government for that building code exemption too, is built higher than the rest of the park. 12. The gas lamps along Disneyland's Main Street, USA are 19th century artifacts, not reproductions. Disneyland used to have a costume lamplighter who lit the lamps at dark. When the energy crisis hit in the 1970s, the gas lamps were turned off. Out of nostalgia, the lamps were later relit. They are believed to have originally illuminated Baltimore streets. 13. The second face in the quintet of Singing Bus, the one with his head broken off, in the graveyard of the Haunted Mansion, is Thurl Ravenscroft, who was better known as the voice of Frosted Flakes, Tony the Tiger. 14. The steam engines of the Disneyland Railroad run on old French fry oil. After a few days' use in kitchens throughout the park, waste oil is stored in tanks and then shipped off-site to be converted to a biodiesel the trains can run on. Every time guests order fries, they're helping to meet the 5 locomotives' appetite for 200,000 gallons of fuel a year. 15. Disney World Resort is actually its own independently governed municipality called the Reedy Creek Improvement District, giving it the right to form a school district, implement a criminal justice system, and issue tax-free bonds for infrastructure projects ranging from parking structures, as it did in 2013, to airports, and yes, even a nuclear power plant. 16. When Pirates of the Caribbean was built in 1967, Randy Pirates chased the women in mechanized circles during the pillage scene. Perceived by some as threateningly sexist, gender roles got switched for a more family-friendly rendition of the murderous scalawags. 17. Technically, most of the Magic Kingdom is actually the roof of a 2-story building that conceals the Ultador, a warren of service corridors. It's wide enough to admit vehicles and holds wardrobe, break rooms, and the digital animation control systems, DACs, that serves as the nerve center for the park's effects. From the currents of the flume rides to the soundtrack of the Haunted Mansion, some 30 hidden stairwells and elevators connected to the upstairs of the park. 18. In 1971, when Walt Disney World opened, its systems were revolutionary and progressive. The resort was the first place to install an all-electronic telephone system, and it routed all unsightly cables underground. It was also the first place in Florida to institute a 911 emergency system. Generator heat warms hot water. Hot water runoff is used for cooking. Wastewater is reclaimed for plants and lawns. And sludge becomes fertilizer. Trash was sucked away at 60 miles per hour. 19. Hidden among the hieroglyphs in the Indiana Jones scene of the great movie ride at Hollywood Studios is a tribute to his creator, George Lucas. Look to the right, above the crate, and you'll see images of 2 more of his creations. CP3O fixing R2-D2 with a screwdriver. 20. Taking a page from airlines' standard operating procedure about flight times, posted wait times for rides are longer than in reality. According to a Walt Disney World cast member on a 7-hour backstage magic tour, management overestimates by 5 or 10 minutes so that guests are pushed at different areas while also coming away from rides with a warm impression of exceeded expectations.
Please subscribe for more amazing videos.